So this is the Texas Bill SB 20. And SB 20 is meant to expand upon what is considered obscenity in media, right? Obscenity in media? Is that what I'm understanding? Yeah.
Yeah.
And it, of course, oversteps the boundaries because it leaves language vague enough that, you know, anime titties, as they are, jiggly and in your face sometimes, are obscene now. It's too vague. So, Ms. Nerdigans, if you could please explain what's gone on.
All right, let me read this analysis. I found this bill analysis because I wanted to find something that even the most simple person could understand. So basically what it does is amends and adds a new section to the Texas Penal Code to clarify and expand penalties for accessing, possessing, or promoting visual material which appears to be a child engaging in sexual acts or patently offensive sexual depictions as enumerated in section 43.21, subsection A, subsection 1, subsection B. God. Of the penal code. So I hate legalese. Offenses are expanded to capture new visual depictions such as AI generated content, cartoons or animation, and other computer software generated sexual material. And furthermore, it establishes a new standard whereupon an offense still occurs regardless of whether the depiction is of an actual child. That's the problem. This is insane. And this is not just, I want you guys to understand, this is not just limited to anime. This is targeting cartoons as well, like South Park, like Family Guy, like The Simpsons.
So yeah. I do want to bring it back to the anime end of this, though.
Yeah. But my whole point, real quick, was just that there's really shady shit going on in Texas. That's my whole point.
Sure. This law, though, would call into question characters like O.R.C.A, for instance. Because her chest is very wibbly wobbly, movie aroundy. She does wear clothes that show off herself on and off. She is advertised as having her body shown off as well. And so it is clear that in the early anime, early part of Bleach, that she is a junior in high school. 17,
I believe
16,
so.
17?
I think she's 16.
Yeah. And I'm trying to, there it is. I think this is official art. I'm not up to date on her. So, as you can see, her chest is completely exposed in this one. The nipples, of course, are hidden, but like the cleavage is completely exposed. You have to remember, Taide Kubo is a fashion designer first. That's that's how he found his way into art. And so when he does these outfits and things like that, he's applying that knowledge to them. So he understands that women like to have themselves look sexy, you know?
Yeah.
They like to feel powerful and sexy, and so that's why she's dressed this way. It is not because he wants you to fawn over real-life children. We just need to remind them that these characters are not meant to make you want to have sex with teenagers.
Well, that too, but still.
There's no intent here to... People don't understand in the West how this works because we take such a long time off from school. The Japanese spend all but 1 month out of the year in school, and that month isn't on Christmas. And so, like, their whole lives, like their whole childhood is locked inside a school. So all of the anime you see that involves a school is like, this happened to everybody. It's probably the most relatable setting you can put any anime because everybody spent the majority of their childhood in school. This is official art. This is stuff that the company has released with their own, you know, blessings on this. And this is not something that's going to be able to find its way under that Texas law into Texas. And if this decides to spread, like Senator Mike Lee, I don't know if he's still a senator, but like Mike Lee wants it to spread, then here we go. There goes O.R.C.A.
Basically, what they want to do is restore the Protect Act, which they cannot do because the Supreme Court already ruled it as unconstitutional. So you're not going to be able to do that.
Like One Piece, pray for One Piece in Texas, guys. They're in trouble. They're in trouble, guys.
They're in trouble.
They're in trouble. Everybody wants to frame this as a right versus left thing, but it's really the example of horseshoe theory. That you go far enough to the ends and you'll find that they're not that far apart. The woke wanted to get rid of busty, sexy characters because it made their uggo base feel insecure and unable to compete. So they wanted to get rid of that to protect the feminists. And on the right, on their end of the horseshoe theory, they want to get rid of it because it makes them feel icky. And they like it's a
It's a
the issue that
religious
I
thing.
well, you can tag on to that too, but one of the things about religion is turning away from sin. It doesn't say that sin can be erased from the world. It's in fact good that it exists because it is a way for us to prove that we wish to be without as much sin as we can get away with. You see, we could be as sinless as we can be, or at least repent for what we've done. If you have a sinless world, it was like the Animatrix. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Where they showed you the world where nothing went wrong and everybody was killing themselves. So that's, again, like this
It's
is what
part
you're
of-
running into.
It's part of the human experience is to
Right.
make mistakes. And I think,
Not only that, but it's part of the human experience to like titties.
well, yeah, that too. Like, well, I have to.
God built them, damn it.
Like the other thing, it's like, dude, based on especially like with what some of these Puritans have been saying, it's like I the other day I like questioned myself. I'm like, dude, am I especially with the Annie situation, like they were saying that because she was dancing in her lingerie that was porn. I'm like, wait a minute, like so basically if I'm just dancing or if I'm just in my lingerie, what they're doing and I thought about this for the longest time. I'm like, dude, what they're basically saying, they're basically body shaming women like me who are not washboards. Well, they are technically body shaming petite washboards. Sorry if you're flat chested, but you just have to deal with it. but they are body shaming.
No, but that's just what it is that we're up against this monolith of both sides of this argument agreeing that the big titty anime girls have got to go. You know, one side says it's a corruptive influence. The other side says that it's smothering out a body, you know, people have different body shapes. And so they're both arriving at the same conclusion to get rid of the big anime titties. And I got to tell you, it's not that I want kids to be exposed to this stuff. Right. I don't want to be like, hey, Billy, you want to see some big anime titties? Let's go. No, it's not that. It's that it's part of the experience of enjoying this media because believe it or not, the majority of anime is aimed at young men. Majority of it. There's shoujo anime. There's the adult women's anime that I forget the name of.
Jose.
And so there's that. And a lot of the time, the women aren't so top heavy in those renditions. I'll point you to Sailor Moon where nary a boob can be found. So, you know, and it's not bad. There's nothing evil about that. Okay. I just want to make it clear that part of watching anime is perceiving things through the Japanese culture. And what do you know? Those Japanese guys, they tend to like big boobs. So this is a joke. Please relax. This is a joke. Okay. This is meant to parody the left and right's attempt to sanitize Japanese media. And so here you have the 4Kids version of Rebecca. What I'm trying to tell you is you start there. Next is the violence. Next is the stuff that blasphemes any god. Next is the stuff that doesn't feel homosexual enough. Next is the stuff that doesn't have enough people of color in it, any color. Next is the stuff that doesn't have enough trans representation in it. And all of a sudden, everything coming out of Japan has been browbeaten into this mushy blob that we have in Hollywood. And that's what I'm telling you. You got to keep the big titties because it's a domino effect all the way down to losing everything recognizable about anime. You know, you have stuff like this right here where you're going to have scenes where a character is, of course, top heavy because anime does that. That's what they do. They like that. They're not afraid.
Well, because anime appreciates a woman's body. I don't know why people are scared of the female form.
And I just want to reiterate.
It just drives me nuts.
Busty anime women have been around since the very beginning of what we consider anime, classic, whatever you want to call it. And it's only recently that Japanese women bust size have gone up the past 5 years. It's not through surgery. It's because they're eating more McDonald's. Okay? They have a more sedentary life than their predecessors. So they're getting, you know, rounder. And with that comes bigger boobs. And that of course, there are women that want to have that. They'll go get plastic surgery and stuff like that. But it's never been sort of, aside from Japanese feminists, let me be clear, aside from them, the culture itself has never sat back and said, are we telling little girls that they're only beautiful if they have big boobs?